Minister.
Thank you, Mr Henderson, and I would like to begin by thanking my honourable friend, the member for East Devon, for bringing forward the matter of the performance of South West Water before the House, which has proven to be an incredibly important debate. And I am disappointed in the continued poor performance of South West Water have shown and the impact that it is having on our local environment. I recently undertook a tour of the South West and heard firsthand how pollution can impact coastal communities and local economies. And I want to be clear that this government has made improving water company performance a top priority. While performance may have improved in the 2022-2023 reporting year, South West Water remain one of the worst performing companies, and there is still a long way to go, particularly on pollution incidents and storm overflow discharges, both of which were significantly above the industry average in 2022. And this is completely unacceptable. And South West Water should be under no illusion that they must take urgent steps to significantly reduce their pollution instances, as well as address other performance concerns, such as increasing resilience of the water supply. Now, I wish to begin by turning to some of the specific concerns raised by members in this House relating to South West Water's performance. I'm aware of the honourable member for East Devon's ongoing concerns regarding sewage discharges into Exmouth bathing water, and I recently have had discussions with him on this, and I know that he has written to me several times raising this issue. While the condition of the bathing water is currently classified as excellent by the Environment Agency, I wish to reassure the House that the recent instances raised by the member are currently being investigated by the Environment Agency, and they have required South West Water to provide data and information to support their investigations. And of course, it would be inappropriate for me to comment from the dispatch box whilst this investigation is ongoing, but please rest assured that the regulator will not hesitate to hold the water company to account if a breach has occurred. The Environment Agency is also scrutinising South West Water's overall pollution reduction plan to ensure the company have the right plans in place to prevent future issues. I will also be personally seeking assurance from the Chief Executive of South West Water, Susan Davey, that they are doing all they can to mitigate the environmental impacts and protect bathing waters, both in Exmouth and across the South West, to protect both the environment and public health. I am also aware of the concerns of members and the public after high-profile sewage spills such as those at Harlem Bay in Cornwall. I am pleased to see that South West Water have outlined an £800,000 investment by 2025 in this area to reduce surface water ingress into the combined sewer network to help reduce the storm overflow spill frequencies. But again, to be clear, their actions are coming too late following years of neglecting their civic duties, and this government will not be shy of holding the company to account. I will give way, yes.
I'm grateful to the Minister for giving way. And I wonder whether he would agree that the problem isn't just with one single water company, but also the regulatory environment in which water companies are operating. And that's why last night at the End Sewage Pollution Coalition meeting that I brought together, we had present the Rivers Trust, British Canoeing, the Angling Trust, River Action, Swim England, Surfers Against Sewage and the Women's Institute. Does he regret not being able to attend?
Well, what I do find a huge misfortune is that it seems to be that Lib Dem policy is getting rid of one of the key regulators, Ofwat, as has been confirmed in the debate today. And given that we have just given Ofwat powers to take a much more robust approach in terms of their approach to dividends and water company bosses' bonuses, that if it's Lib Dem policy to get rid of Ofwat, I fear for the good of holding water companies to account as one of the key regulators, if that's what Lib Dem policy is going forward, because this government knows that the industry needs to go further and faster to address these issues. In 2022, data indicated that 6.47% of South West Water storm overflows spilled 100 times or more, which was twice than the sector average, and it's quite simply unsatisfactory. That is why we have introduced our Storm Overflows Discharge Reduction Plan, the most ambitious plan to address storm overflow discharges in water company history. which will deliver £60 billion of capital investment by 2050 and target our most important sites, including bathing waters first. The government has also driven water companies to ensure we now have 100% monitoring of storm overflows. This is up from 7% in 2010 under the previous Labour administration. And I may also make the point, Mr Henderson, that it was under the last Labour administration that they brought out self-monitoring, which we are absolutely wanting to try and get into a position of overturning. Now we have better data from 100% monitoring being rolled out. However, I do recognise the progress happening in the South West. Indeed, I recently visited a pilot scheme at Combe Martin Village with the Honourable Member for North Devon, where smart water butts and sustainable drainage had been introduced to better manage rainwater, and this was making a positive impact. And I'd like to commend my honourable friend for the good work that she has been doing in her constituency, working together with her constituents and campaign groups to make sure that a partnership-led approach can actively work on the ground when it comes to tackling sewage pollution. I will give way.
I'm grateful to him for giving way. He mentioned something that some of his colleagues have previously. Either is the case that self-monitoring was a big problem, in which case, why didn't they get rid of it in the last 14 years? Or it wasn't the problem. He needs to be credible about this. If he's trying to say self-monitoring is a problem, he should have been doing something years and years and years ago.
Which is why this government has made sure that we've rolled out 100% monitoring of our storm overflows, because once we have the data, we are able to hold water companies that are failing to account, and that is exactly what this government intends to do through our plan for water, which is all about more investment, stronger regulation and tougher enforcement. I also wish to address some of the points that was made by my honourable friend, the member for Newton Abbott, regarding South West Water's resilience to drought, as I know many in the region experienced extended hosepipe bans. And I'm pleased to say that South West Water have informed us that as of the 22nd of February 2024, the Rodeford Reservoir is now at 100% capacity and Collingford is at 87%, showing significant improvement, and that the Environment Agency continues to work with the company on a range of new sources to improve resilience. And I recently visited Hawkstore, a former clay pit that has been brought into water supply to try and deal with some of those water resilience issues. Now, many members mentioned the issue of investment. Of course, addressing these concerns requires investment, and this responds to some of the points made by my honourable friend for Torbay. Following a DEFRA commission, Ofwat, which it seems that the Lib Dems want to abolish, agreed to accelerate £128 million of funding to accelerate smart metering, build nutrient removal systems to improve river water quality, and accelerate 15 storm overflow improvements in Falmouth and Sidmouth catchments. South West Water's latest business plans include a significant £2.8 billion package of investment, which Ofwat is now scrutinising to ensure that it will truly deliver for customers and begin to turn their poor record around. Their commitments will also include achieving the lowest level of pollution incidence in the sector and significantly increasing water quality and water resilience by investment in new treatment works, reservoirs and tackling leakage. South West Water must now deliver on these ambitious plans, and this government will hold them to account every step of the way. And I look forward to my next meeting with the Chief Executive to be able to get an update on those plans. I also wish to assure the House that this government and our regulators in the Ofwat and the Environment Agency do not take underperformance lightly. As a result of failing to meet their performance commitments, Ofwat have directed South West Water to return £9.2 million to customers during the financial year of 2024 to 2025. This is in addition to £13.3 million returned in the financial year of 2022 to 2023. Again, I reiterate, if the Lib Dems want to get rid of Ofwat, I'm not quite sure who would be directing South West Water to do that. South West Water also instructed by Ofwat to produce a service commitment plan to demonstrate how they will meet the commitments made at the start of the current 5-year price review period. And this was updated in November 2023. And I will, as I've said, shortly be meeting the Chief Executive of South West Water again to discuss progress on their plans and hold the water company to account on their specific failures on pollution incidences. When water companies show fault, we will not hesitate to hold them to account. And since 2015, the Environment Agency has secured fines of over £150 million, including £2.1 million fine for South West Water in April 2023. Furthermore, under the action of the government has taken, we will be strengthening regulation to ensure that they have the tools to hold water companies to account. And I want to thank all members for their contributions today, particularly my friend, the Honourable Member for East Devon, for bringing this important debate before the House.